Here at ITD Canada, we strive to make education affordable for every student from any walk of life. For that reason, one of the programs that we have is every quarter we showcase one of our programs and assign a scholarship to it for a limited number of students. This quarter, which starts on July 3rd, we're showcasing our graphic design program. So we're going to take a deep dive into our graphic design program, give you guys an idea of what each term entails. So by the end of this video, you should know what you learn if you enroll in this program. And then towards the end of the video, Sohail will explain the gift and the amount of scholarship. I promise you it's worth the wait. Let's get in. So Sohail, the term one, I'm going to go over the actual courses that are listed on the curriculum, and then if you can just kind of give a general idea of what that whole term is intended to teach the students.
I think before we do that, it's a good idea to actually give them the career opportunities a graphic designer. Yeah. So we're just going to go over what they can become after taking this course, because you can have a journey at ITD Canada. We take you from point A to B, and I want to tell them when you're making it at point B, what you can become.
Right.
So maybe we just start with the career opportunities, and then we're just basically telling them what is our roadmap or plan to get them to the point that they're employable at this area.
Sounds good. So first of all, we, as a vocational college, our focus is on getting you a job. That's everything we care about. We don't care about degrees, diplomas. The fact of the matter is we prepare you to go out and get a job and be successful at retaining that job. With that said, as a graphic designer, you become a graphic designer, right? So in the digital world, which is today's world, what are some of the opportunities that a graphic designer can have?
Well, the previous graduates, they're working in print shops. They can work as in web design companies. They can create digital advertising, even print advertising. They can create posters. They can be even a part of promoting campaigns and all that, creating assets for the campaigns. Nowadays, everything is done through social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They can actually create assets for that. So there is a vast majority of jobs that they can actually hold once they're graduated and they have the skills in design, and also they know the software that they can use in order to create the assets for design environment.
They can create signs.
They can create signs, yeah.
They can create print assets, menus, flyers, you name it.
This is one thing that our students did. This is our brochure, and I can actually show it to you later when we come to the course that does this. You can do package design, create everything scratch, like a packaging for a pizza box or something like that. There is a lot of different things that we actually talk about later.
We'll dive in. So how about this? We'll dive in as we come across it. If you think of any other career opportunities that come up, we'll share it.
Sure. Perfect.
Okay, so let's dive in. Term one, the courses are Art and Design Foundation. That's 40 hours. All these courses are 40 hours each. Drawing, Photoshop Level 1, Illustrator Level 1, Typography, and Drafting.
Sure. So the idea is that we would love to have students that they have some experience in this, but as long as they're talented and they're good in design, they have been taking stuff in high school or they express interest in design, we're taking them. So of course the first quarter is really easy,
just getting their feet wet.
Getting your feet wet kind of thing. So if you take a look at those courses, the drawing and drafting are two courses that they basically do it by hand. It's we have an excellent teacher who can help them. Those people that they really like to do stuff manually, they take advantage of those classes. But at the same time, we all know in the digital world today, software like Photoshop, Illustrator, or kind of all Adobe products.
It's all about software.
It's all about software. So if you want to be living in a digital world, you need to know this software. So we're starting with the first level of it in the first quarter. And then, of course, there is typography, which is talking about fonts and how to do writing and stuff like that. So that's
and we're assuming that they don't have any background. We'll prefer it if they do have some background, but we're assuming.
Exactly. We're starting from scratch. So even if they have some background, they have to kind of take it from us the way that we want them to have. But generally speaking, the course is designed for somebody who does not have any background whatsoever.
Okay, perfect. Then they get a week off, and we
They
jump
get a
into
week
term
off,
two.
yes.
So term 2 is digital photography. Sounds really cool. Illustrator 2, package design 1, advertising design 1, web design, and Photoshop 2.
Okay, so I must admit, like a lot of our people are actually getting a job at web design because right
front-end
now, like
designers, right?
right now, the internet is ruling the world. A lot of services that we had before that they were done by other means, they're all done through websites and apps and stuff like that. So all of them, they actually need graphics assets that has to be made for them. The graphic designers are the ones that they're turning a concept that is in somebody's head into a picture or a print or something. As an example, I can tell you, just like for this thing that you see, I asked one of our students, one of our graduates, I said, I want something that shows IT and I want something that shows a start. Mm-hmm. And then he came up with this idea.
Right.
And so it shows like IT and then the guy is just starting. So these are what graphic designers are capable of. And basically in term 2, we're building their skills on Photoshop and Illustrator. Then they're doing other courses like package design, which I described before. Any product could go to a packaging sense. Oh, wait a second. I can show you this, although this is not designed by our students, but this is basically a means of packaging design, right? So there's like prints on top of it and on every side of it. So they're actually using Illustrator to create this, and then they go through the concept of how to make a package desirable. So that's what is involved in the package design.
Right. I just thought of, as we were doing this, we didn't mention logo design, business card design.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is like what is called as package design. There is like the letterhead, logo, business card, every other asset that you have. Graphically, this is called a package designed for your business.
And it's coherent with your website. So many businesses have the business card that does one thing and your website does something else.
Oh, that's like the worst thing. Like that doesn't help them with the branding. You want to actually stick your branding to people's head. Just, I can tell you, like anybody who sees a red background with a yellow M in it anywhere in the world knows it is McDonald's, right? So that's the whole branding thing.
Exactly. So jumping into term 3, again, you get a week off and you start term 3. It's getting harder, right, as we go along. Corporate design, advertising design studio, mobile media design, super hot right now, publication design 1, senior design project, so I want you to talk about that a little bit,
right,
and package design studio.
So this is the thing, like you said, we're trying to mimic the work environment for our students. So what we do, like I politely want to disagree with what you said. It's not getting harder; it's getting more practical.
Right.
So what we have done is that we've gone out and we asked the employers of what skills do they need if they want to hire someone. We took that in and we incorporated it into our courses. So technically, we're basically getting them to have a leaded practice, or like we have an instructor-led kind of practice. That we call it the studio. So they have a project that they have to deliver and their teacher is working with that. Those are our studio courses. Right. So in this quarter they're focusing on how to make how to build an advertisement asset, whether it is going to be printed or it's going to be online. Obviously most of stuff are done online. I personally haven't advertised in papers since 2001, right? And I don't know anybody else who's doing it. But this is the advertising design. Right now the mobile media design is hot. We know that all younger people, they're just attached to their cell phones. Yeah. And so we're creating assets that they're responsive, we're creating assets that they can be shown really good on a small little service.
Responsive means?
Responsive means if you have a website, it actually works equally as well when it is on different platforms.
Resolutions, right.
On different resolutions. So they're working on their advertising, they're working on their packaging design. There is another thing that is called corporate design. It's mostly about branding, the discussion that we had. So they're creating all different graphics assets for branding, and that's considered a corporate design.
So they learn, depending on the corporate messaging and the corporate culture, what kind of design would go well for that corporation.
Exactly, and it goes like through detailed, nitty-gritty kind of stuff. Like they even go into colors and what color is suited for what, and how they can actually put the colors together, whether green goes with red or not, or these are the things that they're discussing.
Very good. Term 4, motion graphics, publication design 2, green advertising studio, portfolio, professional practices.
Sure. So we kind of didn't talk about the the InDesign or advertising design. So a part of the advertising material that you're making, these brochure pamphlets or like treefolds and stuff like that, the software for that is actually InDesign, Adobe InDesign. So we're teaching Adobe InDesign in term 3 and 4. The result of Adobe InDesign is like things like this that you can see. So I'm just going to show how we're using different assets here. Like every single page of this is a result of hours of work for our graphic designers. And then as you take a look at it, we're trying to send a message out there. We're trying to say that we're a technology college. So the fonts that we're choosing are all technology based.
Aligned with the messaging.
And then, you know, like the messaging, these are all thought of. And basically, I'm not a graphic artist. I just gave the idea of how it needs to look like, and the graphic artist delivered this. So this is for the advertising design and also the InDesign, like publication in InDesign. And then finally, we're actually giving them a course that is called Professional Practices. This is just like making them ready to get the job. Right. We're teaching them how to make resumes, cover letters, and stuff like that. We teach them a little bit about contracts and a little bit about professional development and all that. But mostly these professional practices is kind of like a professional development kind of course. And we help them to make a resume that is good and accepted by the people in the industry.
So before we move on, that's a very good segue to co-op. I apologize for not going there. Before we move on to that, I know that they give a presentation at the end of the term as well and showcase their portfolio. Can you talk about that?
Exactly. The portfolio is supposed to be something that they actually show the employers. Every single quarter, our graduates have a portfolio show. We organize it with our graphic design teachers, and we try to get as many as employers possible to come and see this show and see the work of our graduates and the quality of the work. So hopefully they can get placed at co-op or maybe permanently placed, hired somewhere, right?
So let's talk about co-op.
Okay.
Go right into co-op, yeah.
Sure. Now, beside this, like every other program for us has also a co-op. Co-op is the great opportunity for people that they do not have experience in Canada. They can just jump in. We help them, and again, I repeat, we help them. We do not have the jobs for them. They're the ones who are going to an interview. They're the ones who are actually seeing the employers, but we help them. We have connections in the industry. We have like a complete department that works with the industry, and we constantly have events for the employers to come and see the result of the work of our our students. So within this, we have created a big network, or semi-big or whatever, like the size is big for us. It's always growing. We created a network with the industry people, and if they need someone, they come to us because they have seen the quality of our graduates and they're going to hire them, whether it is on temporary basis in co-op or permanently. Most of the time when people get placed at co-op, then they're permanently placed at that location as well. The co-op is like the best transition of going from a student to a full-time employee. Right. It's just the best because you're learning at a time, you're making money, you shouldn't expect high, like your expectation shouldn't be so high. You probably get like lower number of dollars.
Because we're creating a win-win situation, right?
Exactly,
That's
the whole philosophy.
To be happy and come out and support our students.
This is a whole philosophy behind this. The co-op is supposed to be a win for everyone, for school, for students, and for the employers. And the program that we have created here, we have excellent relationship with people that they're employing our students. Students love it, and it just provides them with some jobs. So co-op is also, I must say, this program can run with or without co-op. But if anybody chooses that they want to go with the version with co-op, that's an integrated part of the education. They cannot get a diploma unless they finish the co-op.
So I am going to jump in and tell you what the price of the program is, and then Sohail can talk about the scholarship. So we have a different pricing for domestic students. That means someone who's a permanent resident of Canada or Canadian citizen. And then there is a pricing for international students, which means anybody outside of those two groups that I just talked about. So for domestic students, the 2-year program, that means the program with co-op, costs $15,200. The price without co-op is $14,000. So $14,000 without co-op, that's a 1-year program. And the 2-year program, which includes co-op, is $15,200. And then for the international students, the 1-year program is 16,100, and the 2-year program with co-op is 17,300. Since most of the people that come through our school focus on co-op and go with the 2-year program, the focus is basically for domestic it's 15,200, and for international it's 17,300. And we have a limited number of scholarships. What is that scholarship, sir?
Well, if you go take a look at our website, you see in our mission statement we say that we want to make education affordable for everyone, and we're actually pretty adamant on making it happen. So every year we have about $100,000 worth of scholarship that we award to different people. They're all partial scholarships. We just decided that it's better to make 100 people happy rather than 2.
Right.
So we're giving partial scholarships out. Normally we do not give more than $1,000 to a person, but in this particular case, for this promotion, as we discussed, I'm willing to give 10% off the price, whatever price it is, whether they are international or domestic. Right. They get 10% off. Okay. So it's a substantial amount of money. For local students, it's got to be $1,500, yep. And for international, it's going to be $1,700. That's literally a substantial amount of money.
So I have a question. For local students, domestic students that qualify for BC Student Aid, can they apply that to the remainder of it, or do they do either or?
No, actually the Student Aid BC works in a way that we have no control over it. What we do in the contract, we say that we give them this much scholarship, and they actually put it in their calculation. Okay. How it comes out is completely out of our control.
So the cost of the program is still $1,500 cheaper.
That's
but
correct.
How they take it into calculation in there
for the Student Aid BC, it's beyond our jurisdiction, basically.
Okay,
like we
perfect.
don't have any control over it.
Well, thank you very much. You got to take action. This is a limit. We have a limited number of scholarships available, as we said, and this is for the term starting July of 2018. Not much time left. If you're interested, click the link on this page and apply. Thank you.
Thank you.